Fam, what's up? What's up? How's it going? Kyle Henderson coming to you from Westgate tonight. Power's out in the neighborhood, so I'm coming over to Westgate. Be sure and visit Westgate when you're in Tuscaloosa. Great place to stay. Don't only think about them during game days. Just a field goal kick away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys joining us in as we turn the page to this open week and get ready for Alabama and LSU, which will be here in to open up November. I appreciate you guys. Let me know where you guys are coming from inside the comment box tonight. We're playing You Make the Call. You guys call in. These are the questions that I am asking you today. And the first one is, I want game balls against Tennessee. Who needs the ball more? I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be talking about Kendrick Law. Is this Saban's best coaching year ever? Honestly, I mean, he's having to coach every single week, every single game, every single quarter. And there was rumors that Miss Terry was leaving halftime. Maybe she gave the halftime speech to turn the team up as Alabama outscores Tennessee 27-0 in a pivotal game. Alabama now 7-1 on the season. And question number 4, I'm asking you about Jalen Milroe, the quarterback for the University of Alabama. I think he's ranked 6th now, passing in the country. So what's up, Aries? I see you inside the comment box. And I got an incoming call from my son, so we'll take that when I get off. And then my final question tonight, I'm asking you about Tua or Jalen. Tua or Jalen tonight at 7:20. That's why we moved the show up to 6. Usually it's at 7, but with Tua and Jalen, I wasn't going to compete with the two greats. So the first caller, no doubt about it, is Demetrius from North Carolina, and we'll take that right now. Demetrius, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing there, Kyle?
Good, man.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you. 1 second. Can everybody make sure everybody can hear Demetrius, because I'm at a new setup, so I want to make sure all the audio is going. So go ahead, Demetrius, man. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you calling in.
See, the phone line kind of, I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm gonna call. I'm gonna just call back later. I don't know if something going your end or my end.
Okay, try to call back, Demetrius, because people could hear you, so maybe call back. All right, we're going to go back to 504, and we'll start right now. Hey, good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from? Hey, welcome to the show. You're on with Kyle Henderson. Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, what's up, man? Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, this is Michael from New Orleans.
What's up, Michael? Can you hear me okay? You can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, there seems to be an issue on our side. So give me a second. Let me see what's going on. I'll plug you guys 1 second. All right, 1 second.
I'm getting a bunch of
Yeah, so people are getting a bunch of static. So just give me 1 second while I troubleshoot this. I'm coming to you from a new setup, so there might be a couple technical issues that I'm running into. So just give me 1 second, and I'll be right back. Just pause for 1 moment. All right, what's up, fam? Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up inside the comment box. All right, we're going to try to, I'm doing a little rattled, so let me get back on track. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, and we got a 470, and we'll take it right now. Hey, good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from? Hey, what's up, man? Can everybody hear Andrew inside the comment box? Andrew, what's up, man? I appreciate you double dipping, man. Welcome to the show. Oh, 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, so no one can hear it. No one can hear. Can you guys hear? All right. A lot of people are saying that they can hear. Can you guys? Okay, how about this? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. And can you guys hear Andrew? Andrew, talk to me. What's up, man? I appreciate you double dipping. Can you guys? Oh, so you guys can only hear me. Okay, got you. Interesting. All right, let's see. Okay, but you can't hear Andrew. All right. My goodness. All right, let's see. It's the mini studio mic. All right. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. How about now? Andrew, go ahead.
Testing.
All right, cool. We back on. All right. Here we go. All right, Andrew. We back on. It's doing some it's amazing the things that will go wrong and right on a live show. So I appreciate you guys staying with me. Literally, I do this all myself. I don't have like a technical guy, so it's like we push through. All right, man. Andrew, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you. Oh, my goodness, that was wild.
All right, so what are the 5 questions again?
All right, let me bring those up as well. So the first one is we're talking game balls. So game balls following Alabama and Tennessee. Who's your game ball for?
Jahad Campbell definitely gets one.
Okay.
He definitely gets one. Jermaine definitely gets one. Milrow definitely gets one. Heck, let's get that whole D-line one. They all get one, because why not? 'Cause they did a heck of a job. Everyone on the defense gets one, man. Heck of a job out of defense, man.
Yeah.
So many game balls to give out, man. Just, dang, everyone did a great job that second half. Who needs the ball? Dang. Give it to Jace, man. Jace can run it, dude. And what's that other guy? Was it Kendrick Law? He had that big, they counted it as a throw because it was like a 1-yard shovel pass, but he got like that 19-yard run or something. That was like one of the only few positive plays we had in the first half. But I think it was Kendrick Law.
Yeah, that is Kendrick Law. And I think, and the reason I asked the second question is who needs the ball more is I feel that Kendrick Law is a guy that needs the ball more, right? I mean, you look at the way that he's able to return kicks. You look at how he's able to, just run. He runs with power. He runs with speed. And the amazing thing is, Andrew, we're on with Andrew from Douglasville, is the fact that Kendrick Law, Isaiah Bond, and Kobe Prentice, along with even Emmanuel Henderson, who we haven't seen a lot of, all of those guys are sophomores. So it's amazing to see those guys really contribute at this level, and we're starting to see them grow. And at some point, they're going to be more like juniors than they are sophomores. I think a lot of this team probably on the offensive side is a little bit sophomoric, if you will. We kind of go up and down a little bit, and the defense is a little bit more stable. But I like your game ball in terms of Jahad Campbell because Jahad Campbell, he's an inside linebacker. He steps in again for Tresman Marshall. Coach Saban said after the game that Tresman Marshall, because of his ribs, he couldn't go. So you have Jahad Campbell comes in, and he's been doing a fantastic job. Remember when he stepped in for Deontay Lawson against Mississippi State? He had 14 tackles in that game. That's the most tackles that anybody's had in a game this season so far. So Jahad Campbell, product of the IMG Academy, he's been doing a fantastic job. Spoke to him after the game. Very humble, very stoic young man. And him next to Deontay Lawson, call me crazy, but I think that is a better duo than Tresman Marshall and Deontay Lawson. And look, you can have a mix. You can have a rotation. 4 quarters is a long gauntlet of a game, especially against SEC opponents, but those guys are doing a fantastic job. Anchored on the side by Dallas Turner and Chris Broswell. So the linebackers doing a great job. I love the first game, the game ball, Andrew. Who else? You said Jalen, and you said basically the entire defense, right?
Oh yeah, dude, that defense was something else. They did really good in the first half, holding them at only 20, and then in the second half, man, play lights out, didn't give up a single point. So that defense was something.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with what you said. Jahad Campbell definitely needs to see it more because every time he's out on the field, he makes something happen, man. Like he got that. He got that scoop and school against Tennessee. That I think sealed the game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge play. And this is that if we make it to the national championship, let alone win, this would definitely be Nick Saban's best coaching job. Definitely. And I think Milo did really good. I think he held on to the ball a little too much in the first half, a couple times. But I think he did a lot better in the second half. He played a solid game. I think he put up like 221, 2 touchdowns. And that pick, I'm not even going to count that pick. Jermaine should have caught that, and that was just lucky. How it bounced off and just bounced right into the Tennessee guy's hands. That was just lucky. So I'm not even going to count that pick. So I thought Miller played a solid game. And then tonight, I'm not really a big NFL guy, but I know the Eagles are really good, so I'll probably take the Eagles to win that one. But I think Tua and Jalen will both play really well because they're both really good QBs. But like I said, I'm just not a big NFL guy.
All right.
But they've been doing pretty good. They've been doing pretty good from what I've seen in the NFL, though.
Well, Andrew, I'm gonna be flying through the calls tonight because I'm trying to get everybody to the Eagles and Dolphins game, man. But I appreciate you double dipping. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you being a subscriber of the channel. And thank you very much, man. We'll catch up with you next time. All right.
All right, man. Roll Tide.
All right, roll tide to you. That was Andrew from Douglasville calling in. We go right back to the phone lines with Demetrius from North Carolina. Hey, Demetrius, what's up, man? I appreciate you being patient, man. On the line with Demetrius calling in from North Carolina, man. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, Kyle? Roll Tide.
Roll tide to you, man.
Yeah, I left a comment last night with the coaches. It said first, the defense is like Rocky Balboa. By the end of the fight, they'll knock anybody out. But the offense will have me like Fred G. Sanford. It's the big one coming in, Elizabeth. Especially that first half. I've taken all the slack from all the Tennessee fans that I just came through Knoxville right now, and it's quiet as a mouse over here. So I stopped at several places. Was just to cash that check that I had been writing, But hey, shout out to them. Hey, that was just I don't know if it means. If we can make it to win the national championship, that second half is tantamount to me like Mount Cody blocking the field goal against Tennessee or Will Riker kicking the field goal at the end of the half against Georgia in 2020. If that, it seemed like a light switch went on for the team. Yeah, the offense needs. No, shout out to the offensive line. I ain't gonna give them a. They done had an F all year. I give them a C this game. Shout out. Even Kane Proctor, he been on everybody's hit list as far as and the young man. Hey, he performed at a level I ain't never seen him at the whole offensive line. And shout out to them guys. And my game balls go. Let's to the unsung heroes. Let's get up. The whole defense performed good. Considering what all. We've been getting beat by that weird route with a running back out the backfield for quite a few years now. Since Mac Wilson days when there were two of that year we lost to Clemson in the national championship. We've been getting, but shout out to the two interior guys, man. They holding it down for us, making everybody else's job easy. Keenan and Tim Smith and Jaheim Otis. Shout out to them guys. And to me, that's who the guys who doing all they real doing the real dirty real close. Those we've been needing that. We really need that. We truly really need that. And who needs the ball more? The way it seems, we got to get our running backs more involved. I don't know whichever one want to take over. And as far as coaching, every year, how can I say it? Every year, Coach Saban puts on the coaching clinic.
Right.
It takes a lot to. I mean, simple fact calls the mental mindset you got to have when you got to. Everybody's gunning for you every week in, week out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put up everybody's best. Don't know other school get nobody best. They still They still want to fold over. I mean, all these other teams, Texas, they play every other team close, but then they want to come in here and play lights out. Every year Coach Saban always putting on a coaching clinic. Don't be surprised if this offense can get it together. A clinic will be this LSU game.
Mm-hmm.
I know they got a high-power offense,
mm-hmm.
but out of every team in college football, we are the only team that'll put on the clinic for everybody now. We'll do it. Ain't no other team ever done it. And so shout out to them young men. I'm proud of them. It was a tale of two halves as usual, but I believe the light bulb done this. I hope this can carry them on, and especially on the offensive side of the ball, that they can, make some noise from here on out. And so, and for us tonight, I'm a NFC East man, so I got to pull for Jalen. But Tua, I'm just glad to see two Alabama quarterbacks after years and years, getting bad mouth, and especially Jalen Hurts. Look what what this young man. If I was to ever have a daughter, I want her to marry somebody like Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, you could flip a coin with both of them young men. I mean, they just do my heart good and do the whole Alabama nation good by just seeing them on Sundays performing at the level they is.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say, Cal. Roll Tide, and hey, get the offense going. We got number 19 in the bag.
All right, Demetrius, I appreciate you calling in, man, and thank you so much for the support, man. I know you really look forward to the show, man. I look forward to catching up with you, man. Be safe up in North Carolina, man, and we'll catch up with you next time.
All right, roll tide.
All right, roll tide to you. That was Demetrius calling in. I appreciate Demetrius being patient. The thing about it is, this team, that what we saw against Tennessee was really 2 quarters of play. Against Arkansas, that was 1 quarter of play. I think they played 3 quarters of play against Mississippi State. But other than that, it's kind of been, either a quarter or 2 quarters. And really, and I've said this before, they only really need 1 quarter of play to start beating you. And they did that. And did you guys see the Josh Heupel press conference? I uploaded that. He was asked about the officiating, and I get it. Alabama had 1 penalty, which is really remarkable. 1 penalty for 5 yards. But there were some calls that were not called in that game. And you know which ones I'm talking about. The one where literally Roydell Williams got clubbed in the head. That was not called. So I know he was upset about that. But I think it was really the fact that Alabama was able to make second half adjustments. And they've been doing that all season long. Whatever is going on at halftime with these guys, they do such a great job coming out and getting these guys to perform in the second half. Now, a full game is what we need, but Malachi Moore after the game talked about the relentless effort and being able to have that mindset, the next play. You hear Jalen Milroe talking about that, and I know you get tired because it's like a broken record listening to these guys say almost the same thing, but they are programmed for the next play. They don't dwell on games from the past. They don't dwell on plays that just took place. You have to have that next play mentality because you can't do something about a mistake other than learn from it and move forward. And I think that we've continued to see that with this team, and it's impressive to see. I do like the resiliency. I do like the fight in this team. Look, I get it. There's a lot of anxiety with this season, but this team is growing, and they are still trending upwards. That was a good win. That was a really good win. Back in the top 10 poll, who cares, honestly? Because that AP poll, no one's even going to talk. This is the most people have ever talked about the AP poll has been because Alabama was outside the top 10. Before that, nobody cares about the AP poll. They really don't. No one cares about the coaches poll either. The college football playoffs poll is the only poll that we care about because in the weirdest way that college football works, that's what determines the playoffs. It's a really strange system. And guess what? People that don't even play, coaches that aren't even in the room, those are the people that dictate who makes the playoffs. And a lot of those people, guess what they have? Raise your hand if you know. They have Bama fatigue. And they don't want to see Bama in that top 4. They want to see a Florida State. They want to see somebody new get in there for whatever the reasons are. But there's a lot of people that are going to hold the style points against Alabama. Alabama last year should have been in. We saw what happened to TCU. And Coach Saban said that they were favored against all those teams. It was the first time I've heard Saban say something like that. But you get what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of people that are going to be like, well, Alabama, they didn't play a complete 4 quarters. So style points is something that is part of the playoff committee criteria, 100%. They're not going to say that, but yes, it is 100% style points. You want style points. You know who has style points right now? Michigan. Michigan has style points against Bowling Green, against East Carolina. That is where they're getting their style points from. All right, we go back to the phone lines, and it's 504. Hey, what's up, man? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Yeah, this is Michael again from New Orleans, Kyle.
Hey, Michael, my bad, man. I appreciate you calling back in. You know I got love for the Big Easy, man. What's on your mind? Welcome to the show.
That's all good, all good. I'm doing good. I'm happy about the win yesterday. So it seemed like last time I called you was after the Texas game, and each week it seemed like we're getting a little better. We're progressing. We still need to have a complete 4-quarter game, but overall I'm impressed with the team. Keep willingness to keep fighting, not giving up, and sticking through it. So I'm definitely happy with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tonight, and as we've been doing on my shows, we're playing You Make the Call and kind of run through a list of calls. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you 5 of these questions as we gear up for the Jalen and Tua Bowl here coming up, man. So you ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. So give me your game balls for Tennessee. Andrew from Douglasville, I loved his game ball going with Jahad Campbell. I thought that was a really good game ball. Game ball doesn't have to be to one particular player, but just a couple players if you want, man. Who you got as your game balls against Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm going to give mine to the other inside linebacker, Deontay Lawson.
Yeah.
I just feel like when he's in the game, it kind of like settles everybody down. He can make the calls, make the right adjustments. So I think him and Jahad, I think the two pair we need to go with moving forward. The 2-star linebackers, those two. So my first one I give to Deontay Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
My second one I get to Trey Amos because he came in and stepped up big when Terrion got hurt with a concussion. So
yeah,
he filled in and that was a big time role for him. So I give him a game ball too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, continue, man.
You go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
No, you know what? I found the comments from Coach Saban afterwards about Trey Amos. He said that if Jahad Campbell doesn't get the scoop and score because a player for Alabama hit the ball out, that Trey Amos was going to intercept that ball. And Coach Saban said that because he said that on the press conference, right? Because he was right there and he saw it taking place. And Trey Amos is a guy who has come off the bench from the transfer portal, and he's been a good reserve. And a reserve is not a bad term. By any stretch of the imagination. You're one play away from being the guy. He's had to step in for Terrion Arnold a couple times, and he's done a fine job. And when you're going up against elite receivers all the time, those Tennessee wide receivers were a lot better than I thought. And guess what? The LSU wide receivers are way better than those receivers for Tennessee. That might be one of the best wide receiving units in the country, along with Alabama, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. Like, those guys are elite, and they're going to see him here in a couple weeks. So Trey Amos definitely stepping in and doing a good job this coming season, man. Go ahead, continue.
All right, then I'm gonna go. My other two, I'm gonna move to the offensive side. I'm gonna give mine to J.T. Latham and Tyler Booker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken. Was Tyler, was he on the right side with J.T. this game, or was he on the left next to Proctor? I can't.
I think he was on the right side. I'm going to look at that right now. I'm going to pull up the Pro Football Focus. I do think that the thing that I was going to point out tonight when I spoke with you guys is the fact that I saw the snaps have been getting better over the last 8 quarters of play, and the pre-snap penalties have gone down. So I'm gonna bring up the pre-snap or the Pro Football Focus grades right now to tell you where all the offensive linemen were at. And actually, I think I have it on this other sheet. But go ahead, Michael. Continue, man.
Yeah, so I feel like those two guys really stepped up. They were gunning in pass pro. They were mauling dudes in the run game. So those two get a game ball for me. And even Caden Proctor. He's he's young, he's learning, but even that sack that he gave up to the strip sack he gave up on Miro, I think if Miro was stuck up in the pocket a little bit, that could have been avoided. So, but I think Caden, he's been improving each week, so I'm happy with his play too. I think the O line's kind of gelling each week, kind of getting better and better and better. So moving in the right direction with that too. So that's my game ball. So Booker, Latham, Trey Amos, and Deontay Lawson for my game balls.
And you have Tyler Booker was at left guard. So I'm about to bring up the stats here in just a second from Pro Football Focus. All right. I was asking everybody, is this – I know it's a hypothetical, but from what we've seen so far, I mean, is this one of Coach Saban's – and at the season, if Alabama wins the national championship with this team, and despite all this adversity and these things that they've had to go by, new coordinators, everything, the world of college football that we now live in with all this parity, if they win the national title, look, Saban, everybody wants to go out on top. I'll be like, yo, this was the hell of a run. This is the job. And, maybe think about where you're going next. But, Coach Saban still has so much dog in him that he's going to be back. But is this one of the best jobs that he's doing?
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, all the adversities and stuff that's come up this year with the team, the whole NIL, giving the college a different feel and look and dealing with different players and stuff. So I think, just managing that, a new quarterback, like I said, new coordinators, and like just the pressure, of being Alabama, the saying heavy is the head that wears the crown. So I mean, and he wears the crown. So I mean,
yep.
You getting each week getting everybody's best shot. So I think he's done a great job. He's kind of changed his ways a little bit this year. Kind of been a little more subdued with the team. And he's kind of picked up a little recently, getting on him a little bit, and I think that's helped too. So he's done a great job this year. So if they win all this year, I think it definitely be his best year coaching ever. At Alabama.
And I found something different this year with Coach Saban. I think one of the things about Coach Saban is he's done things differently this year with making sure to thank the fans after each press conference. Last night he ran over to the student section. He's been doing these things that we didn't see him necessarily do in the past. And I like it. I like the where he's at, how he's been coaching this team, and I think he has been a little bit more subdued in terms of the coaching. But I think he's such a master at coaching, and he's a master. Number one, what is coaching? Coaching is mastering human behavior. And that is something that Coach Saban he reads books on human behavior. He really does, and that implements to coaching. So, and he speaks, and he told Pat McAfee that he meets with a sports psychologist and a psychologist every single week, and they develop a message to the team. Like, that is high level. Those are the type of people that you want your kids around. Those are the type of people that you want your boss to be. That's the type of person that you want to be. You want to always be evolving, and especially in the world where things are moving so rapidly and everything is just right now, at our fingertips. He's doing a master job at getting these guys ready every single week and continuing down the road of winning, not only on the field, but, behind the scenes as well. These guys love Coach Saban. I mean, I get it. This isn't like Jalen Milroe after the game. What did he say? He's like, Saban, that's my dog. These guys love him. What did Trez Marshall say about Coach Saban just recently? I love Coach Saban. I love him. These guys love Coach Saban, and it's just been a really great job. Okay, so your thoughts on Jalen Milroe through, now, what has he played, 7 games?
Yeah, 7. He didn't play against USF.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think he's improving each week. I still would like to see him to be a little more decisive. If it's not there, just take off, pick up 4, 5, 6 yards, just get to, game, make a positive play instead of, taking a sack or whatever. So, but, and I think in the second half, he did touch on a little more of that. In the second half, with the QB run. So that was good seeing. But he's improving each week. If he makes a mistake, let him get him down. You know, he persevered through that, so that's a good sign. He's not shaking easily. So overall, he's in improvement, but you know, still have a little more room to go. But he's heading in the right direction, so I'm happy with that.
All right, and my last question for you. So you got Tua, you got Jalen taking place, Dolphins, Eagles, primetime Sunday matchup on the NFL. Who you got, man?
All right, so I'm a 49ers fan, so we play tomorrow. So, but I do have Jalen Waddle on one of my fantasy teams, so I'm guessing I'll be, I guess, pulling for the Dolphins. But one more quick thing, Kyle. We need to get Kool-Aid off of punt returns because that could really buy us down the stretch. And one more quick thing. I know we got LSU in 2 weeks. We can't come out slow against LSU because their offense is high powered. If we get down to LSU, I think it's a different type of animal. So we gotta come out swinging in 2 weeks for the LSU game. We can't start off sluggish and sloppy, or else I think we might be in a little trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you can't have a lackluster start. You can't play from behind against the LSU Tigers. The quarterback is too dynamic. The wide receivers are too elite. You play from behind against LSU, you lose the game. So this team has a lot of fight in them, but you can't do that against an Ohio State. You can't do that against a Georgia. You can't do that against the LSU. You can't do that at Jordan-Hare Stadium in an environment like that. I don't care what's going on at Auburn. I don't care what's going on with Hugh Freeze. This is a rivalry game. It doesn't matter. You can't be a team that is the cardiac style that keeps coming back. Eventually, that lands you L's, and you want just W's in college football. You got to have them. This is in the NFL where you have, other chances to make the playoffs. You lose again, you're out, and we're talking about going to the Texas Bowl or something like that. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, Michael, and please call again next time.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
All right, man, take it easy. All right, we got a 251 and 773 and a 256 inside the call queue. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube, coming to you from beautiful Westgate luxury condos tonight. Power is out in the neighborhood. That's been the second time the power has been out in the neighborhood, but Westgate is a great place to come visit. You can even make your vacation stop here. So I know it's tough to get here during the actual game weekends, but during the season, if you come see like a basketball game, or if you're in town for parents weekend or whatever it is, go to Westgate. The facilities are unbelievable, and it's just a Will Riker field goal away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. So we have Jalen and Tua tonight. That's why we started the show early at 6. We will get you to the Jalen versus Tua Super Bowl, but want to talk Alabama tonight after Alabama's victory over Tennessee. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being subscribers of the YouTube channel. And with that said, we go right back to the phone lines to a 251. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kevin, Dallas, Georgia. How you doing this evening, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, Kevin? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. We're playing You Make the Call tonight. I'm sure you have some sort of a opening monologue, if you will, before we get into the questions. So your quick assessment of Alabama versus Tennessee.
Wow. As far as game ball versus Tennessee, the best way to describe the Alabama front, as far as on the defensive side, would be solid, not stars. And so I'd have to give the game ball to the front 7, or the front 8, or the front 10, or the front 12. Mm-hmm. Who needs the ball more? I would just plain and simply say, Kyle, just simply run. Try to more so. Let's try to get on those edges a little bit, because we have more than enough chefs in the kitchen to go across. To navigate those edges. So that's what I would like for us to do as far as over these next. Specifically versus LSU. Saban's best year coaching, if they can win it this year, which, I mean, hey, it's set up for them because everyone's going to start losing over the next few weeks. I wouldn't say stop because, hey, Saban, just like all of us, Kyle, suffer from the disease of more. So, I mean, hey, if you can win it with this motley crew, then you could definitely win it with some seasoning as far as another. So you can put it out there so that Dabo, Jimbo, and whoever else won't even be within sniffing distance.
Yep.
Thoughts on Milroe? It's a work in progress, and really, Kyle, it's an indictment on Pete O'Brien, because one thing that Pete O'Brien, as well as Mr. Golden didn't do was develop talent. All those 5 stars. And the only thing they were able to do over those 4 and 5 years was just simply, it would be the equivalent of your kids going to the classroom every day, Kyle, and had to teach themselves. And that's what the kids, and that's what the young men is for. Because you look at the college football this past weekend, Javon Baker, and as well as Christian Leary the previous weekend. All those guys that were in the Alabama receiving corps that weren't developed under the previous OC.
Yep. On with Kevin from Dallas, Georgia. Yeah, I think that the biggest difference has been this defense led under new leadership compared to when it was led under Pete Golding. The fans were right on that one, right? the fans got that one right for sure, because this defense has been like, you don't have anxiety with the defense, with this Alabama defense. You know that they're going to be good throughout the game. You know they're going to be good on 3rd and short, on 4th and short. And how big, I think, honestly, there was 2 big plays for me against Tennessee that were really the most noteworthy when I look back at this game. The first was in the 3rd quarter when Alabama got that 4th and 1 stop. Why did Josh Heupel go for that? That was ridiculous because it's a game of field position. You're on the road, and if you don't get that, Alabama takes away the entire momentum. You're going up against one of the most elite defenses in college football. He failed on that. He failed his team on that by deciding to go for it with 4th and 1. That was one of the most noteworthy plays. So Alabama is able to get a score off that. And the second play, I'm going to tell you what the second play is. Will Reichard, you want to give a game ball to somebody yesterday? Will Reichard for me. 2 field goals, one from 50 yards out against a team that he wanted to hit as many field goals as possible because you know that, look, this guy's been unbelievable this year. But a 50-yard field goal, Jalen Milroe gets absolutely tagged. He comes in and he knocks down a 50-yard field goal to keep that momentum. If Alabama doesn't get points off Will Reichard, Tennessee might be back in it. I don't know. But that momentum continued off of Will Reichard field goal. What do you think about that, Kevin?
The irony of ironies, Kyle, I scratched my head as far as why the young man came back. Yeah. But the irony of ironies, Kyle, is that, hey, he may wind up being, along with, say, a co-defensive MVP as far as Dallas Turner and Braswell. Yeah. He may wind up being the doggone MVP this year.
Yeah.
Because he is the momentum player. Mm-hmm. Because, hey, when Milroe is having his hiccups, then okay, we need the booster shot. So the booster shot, hey, is Mr. Place Kicker, and hey, he's Mr. Automatic. So I mean, he's the Entresto, he's the Carvedilol as far as when it comes to the Alabama fans as far as for this year. Yeah.
I love that. He is the booster shot. Honestly, you need like a little. He is the booster shot. That's exactly what he is. All right. Okay. We got an NFL game taking place tonight. Got Tua. You got Jalen. Who you got tonight in this matchup between these 2 great men and these 2 great teams? I mean, the Dolphins are flying. The Eagles, have been doing their thing. It's been really amazing to see these quarterbacks do what they're doing in the NFL. So we got a Sunday night primetime. Who you got, Kevin?
Well, as you're quite aware of, Kyle, full disclosure, just as a gentleman from Louisiana, I am a 49er fan. By that being the case, at best, I want the game to be a tie this evening. At worst, I would like for Jalen to throw for 500 yards with the loss. But as far as if you ask my wife the question, Your Honor, my wife is, hey, we went to Tampa for the doggone Eagles-Tampa game, in which, hey, her nephew won, as far as Jalen. So by that being the case, hey, she was happy about it. As far as he had a good game, Eagles won. But hey, full disclosure, I would like for it to be a tie tonight. Because hey, I don't want to, because I'm just going to be honest with you, Kyle, I don't want to go to doggone Philadelphia in, I guess it's going to probably be sub-zero temperatures as far as in a playoff game. I want to be on the West Coast as far as the NFC Championship this year.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. That was, the Eagles are rolling. They got so many weapons. They added Julio Jones, but on the flip side, you got Tua Tagovailoa, and the Dolphins put up 70 this year. They are red hot, so I can't wait for the game, man. Kevin, any final thought, man, before I move to my next caller?
Real quick, Carl, and that is as far as on the coaching carousel side, that if for whatever reason the billionaires as far as at A&M were to get rid of Jimbo, it will be $19 million that they'd have to pony up in the first 60 days. Then the rest of it would have to be paid in installments up until 2031. And the thing is this, Kyle, in reference to Mr. Pittman. Mr. Pittman made this, although I know he got rid of Dan Enos today, which that was also the irony of irony. Dan Enos didn't give Coach Saban the courtesy as far as saying I wasn't going to come back, but yet Pittman fired him today. And I'm thinking it's closer than later that as far as Sam Pittman being the next offensive line coach at Alabama, because I see a little smoke there. Then as far as in conclusion, kind of, as far as going back to yesterday in order to go back to the day. The first time we had to deal with a deep freezer with arms and legs was Cardell Jones, excuse me. Then as far as a week or so ago, we had KJ Jefferson, which is a refrigerator with arms and legs. And now, as far as in 2 weeks, we will have Jaden McDaniels, and that is a backpack with arms and legs. So hopefully we can get away with all these dual threat quarterbacks after the LSU game. But I'm feeling good about it, Kyle. As long as we have this defense that travels, I feel good.
Yeah, me too. I think so. I mean, it's going to be tough every week from here on out, and you can't lose. And you got to only continue to get better, and you got to put, the entire team together. And if this team does that, I mean, they can go as far as they want to, in my opinion. I think this group of college football, there's a lot of parity, as we saw yesterday. I mean, Washington had to come back to beat Arizona State. Oklahoma, they were, toe-to-toe with Central Florida. You look at Penn State losing to Ohio State. Ohio State still has to play Michigan. Michigan still has to play Penn State. Texas and Houston, I think that game was close, if I'm not mistaken. Duke and Florida State, that game was close. Florida State had to come back to do that as well. So there's a lot of parity, and if you're going to lose, you got to lose early. Just like you saw Penn State's loss yesterday, that affected them behind Alabama, because who's winning right now? Just like, Texas, they lost, and so did Oregon. Oregon probably lost at the last time that you can lose. No more losing, because you only go further back in the rankings. But I appreciate you calling in, man, and always appreciate chatting with you, man, and I'll be watching that game with you tomorrow night on Monday night.
Indeed. Thanks, Kyle. Take care. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide to you, man. All right, we got a 773, a 256, and a 205. We'll get you out the door tonight before former Alabama quarterbacks Jalen Milroe and Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa square off in a Sunday night highly contested contest. Can't wait to watch that one taking place tonight. Appreciate the super chat, Taylor. Thank you very much for the contribution tonight. Really appreciate it. You guys can also hit the Fan Funder button. It's a join button that you can find on the homepage of this YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys supporting me, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let me bring up I got a couple calls to get through, but I know people like to see the Pro Football Focus grades. So let me bring those up real quick, and I'll just kind of fly through them. And if you're new to the Pro Football Focus grades, which I'm sure you guys have been following the channel for a long time, so the Pro Football Focus grades is put together by former pro and college coaches. They grade out the players, and here are the grades. So let's just walk you through it. We'll start with Caden Proctor up at the top left. Number 74, the star indicates that the player started. The position is the position that the player played, so left tackle. Total plays, 64 snaps. So total means snaps. And on the far right, that's the overall grade. So a 77.5 for Caden Proctor is absolutely outstanding. It's his highest grade of the entire season. This is really good growth that we continue to see from Caden Proctor. This is outstanding. I didn't know that he graded out so well. Tyler Booker played at the left guard position. His grade, 86.5. So when you look collectively to that offensive line, Booker played outstanding. J.C. Latham played outstanding, at least right here on the Pro Football Focus grades. Jalen Milroe, 77.9. Seth McLaughlin, 71.1. That's a better performance for him, to be honest. Jaden Roberts at the right guard position played in 62 snaps, had a grade of 70.9. So overall, this is probably the best performance from the offensive line, at least grading-wise. So I want to hear from you inside the comment box regarding the offensive line, considering that Tennessee coming into this game, the third best pass rush in the nation. You also have a sophomore wide receiver by the name of Isaiah Bond, a.k.a. 007, 71.9 grade out. Jermaine Burton, 75.1. Jace, this is an interesting one, 62.2, considering that he ran for 115 tough yards. That was a very tough performance. C.J. Dupree, 59.5. Amari Niblack, 49.8. And as you can see, Kendrick Law there at the bottom with the 72.2. Let me do the defensive grades real quick, and then I'll move to my next callers. These are the defensive grades. The way to look at the defensive grades, because they do provide the coverage grade, a run grade, a pass rushing grade, but the number that we're going to look at is the DEF grade, and that's the defensive grade. So let's start at Caleb Downs up top. He's a freshman, started at strong safety, 81 snaps, and his overall grade was 67.9. If you go further into the numbers, you see that his run defensive grade was 71.5. His tackle grade was 64.9. Did you see him and Milton collide a couple times? That's a big quarterback for Tennessee, and Caleb Downs hung in there. He's been battling. He's been doing exceptional this entire season. Deontay Lawson had a grade of 51.9. That's a little interesting. That's probably his lowest grade of this season. Malachi Moore, 64.8. Jalen Key, 77.1. Kool-Aid, 80.6. I thought Kool-Aid played really well. These corners were out in space, out on islands, because Tennessee stretches the field so much. Very difficult to deal with those very good wide receivers out in the open space. Jahad Campbell, 67.8. And then kind of scrolling through, you see Dallas Turner, 70.3, and Trey Amos at 72.7. So, look, the Pro Football Focus grades, they are what they are. They're not from the University of Alabama. The coaches have their own grades, and they will give out Players of the Week, which usually comes out on Monday. So we will keep you posted on that. But those are grades to kind of chew on and to kind of look at. All right, with that said, we go back to the phone lines with the 773. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Carl. This is Michael from Chicago. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Michael? I appreciate you joining us from Chicago, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, great win. Roll Tide. I love it. Made my weekend a lot much more easier without, losing. I think the slow start, everybody's saying we're having slow starts. I think the slow starts may be to the game plan. I give total credit to the coaching staff to make second half adjustments. But I think they're coming into the game where the things that they may have game planned coming into the game may not happen at the beginning of the game. Mm-hmm. Because even Nick Saban, he made a comment about they were trying to do a lot more odd front and they had to go to an even front. I mean, I think the game plans they're coming in with, or maybe the plays that they've scripted, maybe not be the best of plays, and because teams are adjusting, they're coming in with different things because they're playing Alabama. Mm-hmm. And when we go into halftime and come back out, they've made those adjustments, and it's a shutdown. Mm-hmm. I think because, to say, all these games are just flipping the switch, I think it's more so coaching maybe the game plan. Yeah. But a great second half by the team, great second half.
All right, so we're playing You Make the Call tonight, and the first question that I have for you, give out some game balls in terms of watching the game. Could be someone from the offense, someone from the defense, special teams. What you got in regards to game balls?
Game balls is going to be a surprise. Freddie Roach and T-Rob, both of them have been coaching their butts off. Yeah. The DBs have not given up anything big, and the biggest thing that the DBs haven't been doing is they have not been pass interference. They've not been grabby. The last 2 years have been very grabby. I don't know what T-Rob has done. Whatever he's done is good. Mm-hmm. They have reduced the amount of PIs and penalties. Mm-hmm. Same with Freddie Roach. No offsides, no jumping offsides. The defensive line have been rushing lane integrity, which has been allowing the ends to get in and get sacks. They've done a great job this year.
I like that because I think those guys, I mean, we've talked about T-Rob a little bit, but Freddie Roach has been a coach that has been, I think, criticized. And a lot of people have been on him about recruiting, about him, with his defensive line. But I think you've seen a lot of growth from Tim Keenan. Justin Mbogbe has been playing fantastic. I thought it was Jaheim Otis's best performance yesterday as well. I thought he really played well. So those guys, I think, are doing a really good job in the trenches, and we continue to see growth in that aspect. And they're playing great. That entire front seven for Alabama doing such a great job. And, of course, it's great when you can have so much confidence within the secondary. All right, so who needs the ball more? I mentioned Kendrick Law because I felt that, in the short opportunities that he gets, he's a dynamic player in waiting. And I hope that he's one of these guys that is added more into packages where they can add him or get him the football or whatever it is, because I think he runs hard. I think he's a big and physical runner. And I think he has a lot of ability. What about you?
I think K-Law needs the ball more, a little bit more. I think the tight ends need the ball a little bit more. And that goes with play calling. I think there has to be more quick passes and just check downs. I think when we get to number 4, I think the biggest thing is the check down for Milroe. That's the only thing. I mean, sometimes just take the 3-yard right off the bat and let the player run for maybe 10 or 12 yards. He has to trust the athletic ability. And I think the check down is the thing that's going to skyrocket Milroe. I think he can make the passes downfield. I think I know the narrative is he can't make the intermediate pass, but he can. If you get the check down, the defensive line is going to get frustrated and not getting to him because the ball is getting out so quick, as well as you're going to get the DBs playing up more, and then that's when we strike over the top. So I would definitely say, as you say, I think K-Law needs it more. I think the tight ends need it more.
Yeah, absolutely. We got above average inside the comment box is like, Kyle smoked the hell out of that stogie last night. Yeah, and it was all premeditated. I went before and I made sure that I had my torch. I do like cigars, but like outside of this, I like cigars. That's something that I do. I'm grown. I like to go outside. I like to enjoy a cigar. That's part of me. So I knew going in that I had to have my stogie, my torch, everything ready, because I already told you guys before that Alabama was going to beat Tennessee. Was I a little bit nervous at halftime? Hell yeah, I was nervous, just like you guys. I didn't like it. Alabama was down 27. I was looking at that video where I was telling people about Alabama, and look, but I know that this team's a second half team, and I felt a lot better when Jace ripped off that big run and they went down and scored a touchdown to Isaiah Bond. And I was like, all right, things are going well. With that said, Alabama, led by the greatest, Coach Saban. He's done so much, so many national titles. The teams have been absolutely loaded. This team, of course, is loaded as well, but he's had to coach every single 12 hours of his day. He's had to coach, and he was like, this team might be taking years off my life, but I'm okay with it. He's like, I like this team. I like the adversity. Coach loves to coach. Is this one of his best jobs ever?
I think he's coached hard every year. I think he's adjusting to the transfer portal. And I think I've called him before, and it was a little while back. And, I mean, Bama is deep. And I think he's trying to keep the players. I think he's bringing in a little bit more warm and fuzzy to say, hey, I got to keep these guys. I mean, we got Murphy on the bench. We got Canoe. We got Russo. We got 5 running backs that's in the running back room. I think, he's bringing in a little bit more warm and fuzzy to say, hey, I got to limit the amount of transfer portals that I put in each year. I mean, there's going to be some. But I think he's trying to make a family atmosphere to say, hey, this is an Alabama experience. I mean, back in the day, he can say, hey, this is a business. They couldn't go nowhere. I think now he's bringing in a little bit more family because he's trying to keep these guys there because it's deep. I mean, we have a deep roster. Yep. And there's a lot of guys I'm pretty sure want to play, and that transfer portal looks awful good. But when you're winning championships and you feel, that, hey, Coach Saban is my dog, you're more apt not to go in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Number 4, your thoughts on Jalen Milroe as he continues to progress as the quarterback of the University of Alabama.
As I stated earlier, the check down. Yeah. If he hits the check down, the back out the backfield, get those 4 yards. Sometimes he can hit that back, and sometimes that back is going to make that cornerback miss, and he gets 15. Yep. He has to trust that the arm can't be all of the yardage is going to get gained, and he has to trust the athletes. And I'm hoping Reese, I mean, everything that, the fans are talking about, I'm pretty sure the coaches want to. So a lot of us, we're talking about, hey, check down, hit the back out the backfield. He's sitting out in the flats, hit it to the backfield. Hopefully over these next 2 weeks when going into the LSU game, the check down.
All right, and lastly, we got Tua and Jalen, and I promise you, we're going to get you out the door before Tua and Jalen get going here on Sunday Night Football.
I'm gonna make it quick for you.
Okay.
Jalen, I'm an NFC fan, so Jalen, I'm making it real quick for you. Thanks, Kyle, for letting me talk. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you. All right, that was Michael out in Chicago calling in. I appreciate it. I ran through the Pro Football Focus grades because I know on the show you guys were asking about the Pro Football Focus grades inside the community tab. The community tab is right here on YouTube. It kind of works like a message board, post photos in there and some comments, and you guys can also become a fan funder of this YouTube channel. Just go to the YouTube channel homepage and hit the join button. I think the lowest option is $2.99 a month. This is what I do for a full-time living. Just like you have a job, I have a job. This is my job. I love what I do, and I appreciate all the support. With that said, we go back to the phone lines, and we got a 256 calling in. Yeah, I appreciate you calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
It's Boots Henderson. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up,
Lake Gunnersville, Alabama.
Oh, I know where you're from, Boots. Yeah, Lake Gunnersville, man. I've been up there for sure. So, welcome to the show. We're playing 5 questions. Can I just go ahead and ask you who you're giving your game balls to, Boots?
Chris Bradwell. Everybody look now. If it wasn't for that ball, you just got to go back and look at every game. He ain't making just this big play. He's making big plays every game.
Yeah.
And he's coming. And so I'd have to give it to him and Jihad Campbell too, also, because he's awful good to be keeping off the field. Of Jihad Campbell now.
Oh yeah,
but Chris Bradwell.
I like the additions, and look, the touchdown that Tennessee got in the first drive of the game, which was a great throw and an even better catch. I mean, the guy caught it literally by his fingertip, like his pinkies, and they reviewed it, and it was a touchdown. And that was a good job to get Chris Boswell, who's a very athletic outside linebacker, in space. He was beat on the outside, and that was a good throw and catch. But I think overall and collectively, Chris Boswell has done a fantastic job, and I think he has been a player that has waited his turn. He hasn't complained. He didn't think about entering the transfer portal, and he's made himself a lot of money this season, 100%. And Jihad Campbell, you bring up a great point. Think about that guy. He's on the bench. He's a reserve that has come in that can probably be a starter anywhere else in the country. He's probably going to continue to start over Trezman. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Having more depth is better, and there doesn't need to be an official like 11 guys on defense. You rotate that in because there's different formations, different fronts. But Jihad Campbell, I love those 2 additions, Coach. All right, so who needs the ball more when we look to this Alabama offensive unit?
They're just going to have to throw it deep more, especially this game coming up, and they need to quit waiting to throw it. Go on deep to Burton. Burton, he catch it. See, one thing better, if he get it close to him, he going to catch it. So we need to get it in his hand a little bit, 3-4 more times a game deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. We got a super chat in coming in. He says, this is from Andrew. He said, great Bama content with the future. Gotta love Kyle. Hey, I really appreciate it, honestly. Like, I have a board, I have a whiteboard, and it says, put in the work, be authentic, and good things are going to happen. And I think when you do that in any line of work, things are going to happen. Like, this is me. You hang out with me at a barbecue, this is me. And I hope that you guys can continue to see that. So, all right, Boots, we're continuing to play 5 questions I like so far, 1 and 2. Number 3, I've asked people, is this Coach Saban's best coaching year thus far? I know it's hypothetical because we've only been, in 8 games so far. But, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I know Coach is really coaching the hell out of this team.
All right. Well, Kyle, I lost you there.
Boots, are we there? Boots, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Kyle. You know what? It could be his best year because, well, one thing he did, it shook the team up when he put Miller on the bench. They really could have lost that game, but he knew that if he built a fire up on him, he'd be ready to go. Yep. So And then his defense that he done, last 2 years we hadn't been, before this year, we hadn't been that good, defense. And he brought some guys in, and the defense is back of old, Kyle.
Yep.
And I tell you this week, you know what? It's 2 weeks, and they're going to have to hit that boy. Now, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to hit him. And now, you go back and look at every game he lost, the team hit him. If they don't hit him, they just let him run to the corner and throw, because he just going to run out of the pocket and throw every time.
Yep.
Somebody need to hit him every play.
Yep.
If they hit him every play, we'll win the West. The West is going to be won down there. You know what I'm saying? But I think it might be his best coaching year right here.
All right.
Because he got a young football team too.
All right, let's fly through these next two, Boots. All right, so give me your quick thoughts on Jalen Milroe, and then I want to ask you about Tua and Jalen. So let's fly through this so we can get everybody out the door. So thoughts on Jalen Milroe?
Okay. Oh, Milroe, he's going to be a first-round draft pick before he leaves, like I told you at the first of the year, Kyle. And he's all right. Once he learns to step through it a hole, them 2 guards is pushing people around up after you to step right through that hole, 5 yards. Step right through that hole. He's looking, and he always drift right. Just when he learns to step through one of them guard holes every time, he's going to be too dangerous for his own self, So that's where I'm at on that. And Tua and Jalen, I'm always going to be a Jalen man. I can't help it. I like a physical type quarterback. I don't like no quarterback be swing and hit his ankle, and he might not, I like Tua. Don't get me wrong. I like Tua. Great thrower. But one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a quarterback, I need Jalen Hurts, Milroe. That's what I want. I want toughness back there. Now.
Yep. All right, Boots.
So I'd say that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Boots. Please call again anytime, and it was always good to rap with you, and have a good rest of your Sunday night.
All right, Kyle, look here. I want you to tell them now to hit that boy down there. LSU, that quarterback got hit it. Well, if we let him run around, it's going to be a long night.
Yep.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you. All right. See you, Boots. All right. That was Boots calling in. All right. I'm going to try to get you guys in, and I'm going to try to get out of here by 7:10. We got a 2:05, and if I don't get you guys, you can try me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I was telling everybody else on the show that on my earlier show that I think schedule-wise, I have enough availability to do a 9 a.m. show. It would just be like this. We'll talk over different, topics, whether that's college football, whether that's Alabama football. Always geared on Alabama football, but I think a 9 a.m. show could be pretty good. So definitely call in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time, and we can catch you guys. All right, so 2:05, let's do it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
The D from Birmingham, Alabama.
What's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. You ready to just let's run through this? I got 5 questions. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. All right, give me your game balls for Alabama-Tennessee game.
A game ball going to be to Coach Steele for the adjustments he made in that second half, for them to score 20 points on us in the first half and no points in the whole second half. I think he did. The whole coaching staff did a hellified job in that second half.
I like that.
Defense.
Absolutely. I mean, 27-0, and you look at the yards. They completely dominated. That defense is just the backbone of this team, and we keep saying that. And it's like built by defense. I'm not going to say it, but you know what they say about a really great defense. Who needs the ball more on the offensive side?
I think it's between Bird and Black. I think Black. I see people be not the name wrong.
It's Black. Amari Black.
Black. Okay,
yeah.
Black.
Uh-huh.
Black is like he's a mismatch. He's a mismatch. Like, he's too big for linebackers, and too big for safeties and too fast for linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to get the ball in his hand a little bit more. And Burton he catching anything close to his hand. So either one of them.
That snag that he had across the middle of the field and the touchdown that he had, where he just kind of grabbed it in and pulled it in. That was elite. He is playing at a very high performance, and I think he's another player too.
Playing very well.
I think he's another player that earned money by coming back, and people weren't really excited that he was coming back. You're happy that he came back now because he is wide receiver number 1. Okay, question 3: is this Saban's best year coaching? Hypothetical.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. It seems like every halftime he got to go in and light a fire under their ass, and then he get like everything up out of them. Yeah, this to me, man, this is a big job he did.
And the job's not done. Look, I mean, we're talking about the final job here at the midway season, but I'm just saying, like, you putting things together and you've been riding out this season. Look, this bye week comes at the perfect time. I mean, it's going to be Coach's birthday on the 31st. I would bet that either this Friday or Saturday, Coach Saban gets a little bit of golf in, which he deserves. He deserves at least 9 holes, because these 12-hour days and these Saturdays. I mean, he needs a little bit of golf. I hope he makes it out and he plays a little golf.
Because I know I done had 3 heart attacks this season. If I done had 3, I don't know how done he done had.
Right? Okay. All right. So real quickly, thoughts on Jalen Milroe?
If he can ever get 60 minutes, man, he'll be the quarterback we all want him to be.
Mm-hmm.
It is like we can't get 60 minutes out of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one minute you ready to strangle him, the next minute you want to go drink a beer with him. Now, it is like, last night, that first half, man, if I had a baseball bat, I would have busted him upside the head. But that second half, he got there and played like, okay, that's what I've been looking for. Like, why can't you do that for 60 minutes? I mean, it's crazy, and you don't want to talk about a guy because he's the best thing we got. So as Alabama fans, we got to stop talking about him. I talk about him probably more than anybody, but he the best one down there.
The thing about Jalen Milroe is his ability to play in the now, and I think elite players are able to do that, right? Because you could harp on the interception that he threw, which wasn't on him. You could harp on, a quarterback sack, whatever, but that next play mentality, and I know people are like, next play mentality. No, next play. That play doesn't matter. Move on to the next play, and the team is behind him.
Right.
Every single time I see him go into halftime, he's always getting everybody dap. Everybody, right? He's a leader.
Yep.
He's demonstrated this year. He's grown into the leader that the quarterback is supposed to be for this team. He's gone through a lot. This whole team has gone through a lot. He is still trending upwards, and I think he's done a really good job this year. Okay, so lastly that I got for you, Tua or Jalen tonight on Sunday Night Football?
Roll, Eagles, roll.
Roll, Eagles, roll. They just added Julio.
Roll, Eagles, roll. Huh?
They just added Julio.
Hey, man, that whole Eagles offense is Alabama, and that whole Eagles defense is Georgia. That's like an SEC team up north. Yeah. I love that team, man. Yeah. I love it. You got Landon Dickinson on the offensive line. Yeah. You got Jaden. You got Julio. You got the Slim Reaper out there.
Slim Reaper.
I love. You know what, man? I love the coaching staff and what they do with Jalen, because instead of them making their offense fit Jalen, they made it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to make Jalen fit the offense. They made the offense fit Jalen, and he's showing the world.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's do that. If Reese can do that, what they did for Jalen, I mean, it'll be a world be wide open for that boy down there.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, man. Well, D, I appreciate you calling in, man. Please call again next time, and thanks for rapping with me tonight.
Roll Tide, everybody.
All right, roll Tide to you, man. All right, appreciate it. All right, fam. Look, if I didn't get to you guys tonight, I will get you guys sometime this week. Remember, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. In terms of who is going to win tonight between the Eagles and the Dolphins, look, guessing the NFL is as easy as guessing the Alabama football schedule. But I think that the Eagles come out on top tonight. I love the story of both quarterbacks. I mean, when I first got here to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, it was the year that Jalen Hurts took over the team. and following that journey, and then to see Tua take over and come and win the national title, and then going into the next season when Tua became the quarterback and Jalen's on the bench, and then Jalen comes back in and helps them win the SEC championship. I was on the sideline when Tua threw the ball to Smitty. I was on the sideline when Jalen Hurts scored that touchdown when Tua walked off the field with the ankle injury. It's a remarkable story, honestly, and I'm really glad to see these young men continuing to do what they do in the NFL. And I think that Jalen is a fantastic role model. I think that Tua is a fantastic role model. I have a son, I have a daughter, and those are the type of people, the type of men that you want definitely young men and women to emulate in terms of the leadership and what they bring to the table. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight in all the content. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Thanks, Jonathan, for becoming a member tonight. You can become a fan funder by hitting the join button on the homepage of this YouTube channel. From Westgate Luxury Condos, my name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Have a fantastic evening. Enjoy the game, and I'll catch you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.